Welcome back to Turks Who Eat. This week we're in Vienna. Join us as we explore the city's rich history, indulge in delicious food, and discover hidden gems.
All right, we just arrived in Vienna. We'll be here till Friday, and we're gonna start the tour by going to eat. Classic.
On our last trip to Vienna, we ended up at Zum Leopold one night after a number of failed attempts to find a place for dinner. It ended up being a happy surprise because we loved the food and the old school atmosphere. So we're back again on this trip to share this spot with you. This place is known for its schnitzels, a classic Austrian dish of thin meat that is breaded and fried. We got two different kinds of schnitzels tonight. I went with the classic schnitzel, which had a delicious crispy breaded exterior with tender meat inside. Mehmet went with the natural schnitzel. We didn't exactly know what this was before ordering, but it turned out to be a version without breading served in a broth. It wasn't bad, but we definitely recommend going with the breaded version. Schnitzel is typically served with a potato salad, which adds the perfect amount of creaminess and acidity to this somewhat rich meal. After this long travel day, we were still a bit hungry, so we also got a plate of Käsespätzle to share. This is a dish that you typically find in Bavaria, Germany, but it's one of those things we can't resist when we see it. It's basically German mac and cheese, so gooey and cheesy and so good. This was the perfect start to our time in Vienna. Vienna is such a beautiful city and one of our favorite places to visit. We actually might go so far as to say that its beauty is second only to Istanbul as far as European cities go. Every building here looks like it's fit for royalty, and honestly, that's probably because so much of it was built by the Habsburg dynasty that ruled this area for centuries.
We've been walking around, exploring Vienna. It's seriously such a pretty city. I really like it. We're heading to lunch now to a place that sounds really good. It's called Mochi. It's a Michelin Bib Gourmand restaurant, and we're hungry, so let's go there now.
Let's go eat!
Mochi is definitely a hot spot here in Vienna. It's a popular place serving up great Japanese food. They have a massive patio that's perfect for sunny days like these. We had heard great things about the spicy watermelon salad here, so we had to give that a try. This was such a delightful and interesting dish. The watermelon was super juicy and refreshing, contrasted with a topping of sashimi, a Japanese spice mixture that has a slight spiciness, creating a sweet-spicy combination that we couldn't resist. We shared a couple of other dishes to round out the meal, including the spicy salmon roll, the crispy Buddha roll, and the chicken skewers. We definitely didn't expect to find great Japanese food in Vienna, but everything here was excellent. The chicken skewers were especially delicious, topped with a teriyaki sesame sauce that was so addicting. We finished our meal with a couple of their namesake mochi, and we've never had authentic mochi like this before. These are handmade and they were so chewy and flavorful, but not super sweet. We tried the black sesame, coconut, and one more flavor that I can't remember. Definitely don't pass these up if you eat here.
All right, so it's after lunch. Alex wanted to go back to the hotel to do some work, and Bindi and I decided to go walk around and do some sightseeing, so let's go. Bindi, let's go.
One must-see landmark in Vienna is St. Stephen's Cathedral. This massive Gothic masterpiece towers over the city. This iconic Viennese landmark is not only a religious structure, but holds a lot of cultural significance in Vienna as well. Mozart, one of Vienna's most famous citizens, has performed in this cathedral, and it was even the site of his funeral. We went with a simple, yet no less delicious option for dinner. We grabbed doner from a place called Ugi's. These doner were huge, stuffed with so much meat and fresh vegetables.
It's another beautiful day here in Vienna today. We stopped at this market that's near our hotel that seems like a bit of a more local market, and then we're going to go to the larger, more famous Naschmarket.
Yeah, sadly, there's nobody here right now, but some of the stores that are around here are open. There's a lot of delis and butchers and some places to get breakfast.
Naschmarket, on the other hand, was full of activity. Naschmarket is a huge market here in Vienna with tons of stalls selling everything from fresh produce to cheese, spices, just about anything you can imagine. A walk around the market will treat you to the opportunity to check out not only Austrian favorites, but specialty food items from around the world. This is a really nice market to wander through, especially if you're a foodie. In addition to the stalls, the market has lots of little cafes and restaurants too. We stopped into Orient Occident for a light lunch. We tried their homemade lemonades, which were slightly sweet and very refreshing, because I know we've mentioned it many times by now, but it's been pretty hot on this trip. We also shared a chicken bowl, which was full of grilled chicken, hummus, arugula, and eggplant.
Alright, now we're going to check out a wine bar. We actually really loved the Austrian wines we tried last time we were here, so we are excited to taste some again.
Where are we going?
Dany's Weincabinet.
Alright, let's go!
On this visit, we sampled a Gruner Veltliner, the most popular grape varietal here. This one was crisp with notes of green apple and citrus and a slight pepperiness. We also tried a Riesling, which was dry and slightly more full-bodied than the typical German Rieslings you may have tried.
We just left Dany's Weincabinet. It is the absolute best spot wine bar here in Vienna. I totally recommend going there if you want to try some awesome, unique Austrian wines. The lady who runs it is just the sweetest. She's so nice. We had some great wine.
And she's very knowledgeable.
Yes.
Like, she explained everything that we had. She's so sweet. We talked to her. Yeah. Very good. Highly recommend it.
Now we're headed to dinner.
After another wonderful day here in Vienna, it's time for another restaurant. Tonight, we're headed to a restaurant whose name I definitely can't pronounce without butchering it, so I'm just gonna post it below. This place is known for its lively atmosphere and, of course, its great food. The restaurant has 4 different rooms with different vibes. Tonight, we're dining in the piano room where we can enjoy live music along with our meal. It's hard to say what was the best part of this experience, the food, the music, or the incredible friendliness of everyone here, because all of these aspects were top-notch. To start with the food, everything was just so tasty and perfect. Mehmet went with the set 4-course menu, and I chose a couple of things a la carte. The starters were a trio of carpaccios, each with their own unique flavor, as well as a salad with beautiful fresh tomatoes and creamy burrata. Next up was a really interesting smoked cheese and mushroom soup, which was full of flavor. Mehmet's main was a boiled beef gratin, while I enjoyed the wild boar ragout. Each of these dishes were made perfectly, bringing out the best aspects of these ingredients and balancing everything together expertly. Our desserts were no less impressive. Mehmet's was a refreshing bowl of chilled raspberries and yogurt sorbet. I, of course, went with something chocolatey and opted for the chocolate mousse with grilled apricots, which looked and tasted beautiful. The live piano player here next to us made this such an enjoyable night. Vienna is a city with a huge music history, so having this music during a classic Viennese meal is just so perfectly fitting. And everyone here was so nice to Bindi. I mean, she's been doted after before, but here you would have thought she was a celebrity. I mentioned when we made the reservation that we would be arriving with a dog, and they were prepared with jerky sticks upon our arrival. Throughout the meal, everyone kept bringing her treats, giving her lots of attention, and made her feel as welcomed as we felt. On top of all of this, the restaurant uses suppliers that have a commitment to sustainability and natural processes, which we love.
All right, we just had the best dinner at restaurant.
We don't know how to pronounce it.
Rauchfangkehrer.
Someone knows how to pronounce that. Great.
We will definitely link it down below. It was so good. The service was amazing. The food was so good. They were so warm and kind to Bindi. They gave her so many treats. She's still looking in the restaurant because the waiters there gave her so many treats. She's now obsessed with them.
And then they actually gave us what was left. So we still have some treats left over. So she's very happy. We're very happy. The food was amazing. Everything was amazing. So highly, highly, highly recommend this place.
Yes.
So far, our time in Vienna had been great, but the next day was a bit weird.
We're still here in Vienna. It's a bit of a weird day today. Before we planned this trip, I didn't realize that we happened to be here on the same date as Taylor Swift. And being a really big Swiftie, I was very excited for that and ended up last night booking a last-minute tickets to go see her first night here in Vienna tonight. Unfortunately, a couple hours after I booked that, the news came out that all the shows here are canceled due to a planned terrorist attack here in Vienna. So that won't be happening. We just got out this morning. We're going to get some breakfast and then figure out what else is on the plan for today.
Since I wasn't going to see music royalty tonight as planned, I headed out to explore some of Vienna's royal history instead. Vienna's history of being the residence of the Habsburg Empire means the city is full of royal landmarks and some very impressive buildings. The most impressive, of course, being the palaces. I headed over to Schonbrunn Palace on my own since Mindy wasn't allowed. Schonbrunn was a summer residence of the Habsburgs and is located not far from the city. It's about a 20-minute cab ride or easily accessible by public transportation. I can certainly see why the royals would want to spend their summers here. It's an absolutely breathtaking place. The inside is furnished with the most opulent decor. Each room is unique and stunning, but even better are the surrounding grounds and gardens. I probably spent about 45 minutes exploring the inside and close to 2 hours exploring the outside. It's a massive complex, and it felt like there was constantly more and more to see. The best part was climbing to the top of the Gloriette, a huge decorative structure that looks over the palace, the grounds, and provides a great view of Vienna.
Sadly, our trip to Vienna is coming to an end. We're going to our last dinner right now, which is right behind us, Cafe Kandl. So let's hope it's good and let's go get some food.
Cafe Kandl is a hip spot located in the trendy Neubau district. We do a lot of research on where to eat when we travel, and for this trip to Vienna, it definitely paid off. Everything had been great so far, and this restaurant was really the perfect ending. They have some really interesting dishes here and preparations that we've never seen before. We started with the tomato asada. This tomato has been slowly braised on a charcoal grill, and if we didn't know it was a tomato, we could have easily confused this with meat when it landed at our table. When you cut into it, the tomato really resembles a piece of beef, yet it has the flavorful, juicy taste of a ripe summer tomato that's unlike anything else. Next up was their foie gras. This completely vegetarian dish resembles its meaty inspiration without any of the guilt associated with the classic dish. And then came one of the best dishes of our entire trip, the zucchini flower cacio e pepe. I absolutely love zucchini flowers, but these ones were next level. They were stuffed with a cheesy, peppery, cacio e pepe inspired sauce, lightly battered, and then fried to be crispy on the outside but oozing with sauce when you cut into it. These were unbelievably good. Honestly, we talked about them for days afterwards. Our final dish was an omelette, marinated in Japanese shio koji and grilled to a perfect sear. We couldn't resist dessert here, and we got the grilled strawberries with ice cream, which were fruity, sweet, and refreshing. After our meal, we took one last walk through Vienna to see it in the night lights.
It's the last night of our time here in Vienna. We're in front of the Parliament House right now. We're going to slowly start making our way back to our hotel, and tomorrow we're going to start driving over to Sofia, Bulgaria. So excited to see that.
Vienna is so pretty. I'm actually so sad to leave. It's such a nice city.
Yeah.
The restaurants are good. It's beautiful. It's just very chill. It's easy to walk around, easy to get around. Everything's beautiful. I really like it here.
Yeah, we really love it. We'll definitely come back. Highly recommend it here.
We've heard complaints that Vienna isn't a dog-friendly city, but we have to disagree. While it is true that many of the manicured parks and gardens don't allow dogs, they are allowed pretty much everywhere else. There are even specific dog parks around the city. Bindi dined everywhere with us and was always warmly greeted. Dogs can ride public transportation here, and Bindi had a great time with us. Vienna is overall a great city and one we highly recommend visiting. It's one of those places that we really miss after visiting. Vienna is also famous for its coffeehouse culture, an aspect of the city that is so important that we think it deserves its own video, which we'll be posting next week. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe so you don't miss next week's deep dive into Vienna's coffee culture. From the fancy coffee houses to trendy modern spots, we're going to cover them all.